Welcome to Haken, an Animal Crossing podcast, your podcast dedicated to all things Animal Crossing. Episode 96 is brought to you by Lindsay, one of our newest Patreon patrons. Today, Sergio is going to listen to me complain about the most recent Pocket Camp update, and Sergio is going to tell us some things that are still missing from New Horizons. So to begin, hello Sergio, how you doing?
Hi Chewy, I'm doing rather well. What about yourself?
I'm doing well. It was a good weekend. Yesterday we were super lazy. Which,
nice.
I mean, we probably should have done a little bit more. I could have definitely done more. But you know what? It's the weekend, so
yeah.
it was whatever.
It's lazy time.
Yeah, and I got to play a bunch of Fire Emblem, so nice. I was happy. Like I said, you're going to hear me complain about the latest Pocket Camp update. And this is one of those bigger ones that happened recently where they kind of revamped one of the kind of gameplay mechanics in a big way, you know?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
So the one that they did was the Gulliver thing. And do you remember how Gulliver worked in the past?
A little bit, not too much, because honestly, I never really used it. I don't know how useful it was, if any. But, I mean, I know when it was introduced, some people liked it. It had to do with candies, right?
Yeah, sort of. So I feel bad for the people who didn't get to use it before it turned into what it is, because it went from being kind of the worst feature in the game to being even worse than that. So that's why I'm going to complain about it today. But basically how it worked before, you would give Gulliver 10 items. And honestly, the one thing I would have loved them to fix was just like, let us give you more than 10 items at once. Because you literally like give him one, and then he's like, okay, 9 left. And then you pick one more, and then he's like, okay, 8 left. And you have to do this over and over. I counted it. It's 40 clicks to get through all, like giving him all these items.
Oh, man.
And so 40 clicks later, which is way too many clicks, instead of like, you could have just let me pick this item, I don't know, pick the items all at once and then say, go, you know?
Yes, right.
But anyways, you'd give them 10 pieces of furniture, clothing, kind of whatever you had that was like extras, or you could do the strategy of just crafting 10 giant dharmas or whatever else is cheap, you know?
Right.
And then, you know, send him off on his way. He comes back after 6 hours. And then you have the chance of getting a character map. And usually, I mean, if you did like the 6 Dharma thing, it pretty much like most of the time he'd come back with like a character map. Unless you were me, he'd come back with bronze candies after 6 hours and be like, come on, dude, this is like literally 2 experience points toward a character. It's not worth anything.
Yeah.
Especially if I'm waiting 6 hours for this and crafting 10 items for this.
Yeah, right? And then 40 clicks.
Yeah, exactly. And just like the time and it takes to even get them going, it sucked. So anyways, it was a really bad feature and I suffered through it. I got all the characters that I could through it.
Nice.
But it's gotten worse. So they updated Gulliver, and it's amazing to me how they made it worse. It's so bad now. So I'll go through it because there's some positives to it, but overall they just get canceled out by how the whole thing works and how that whole mechanic has been treated. So I don't know. I tried to go in as open-minded as possible, but pretty much I saw it the first time and I was just like, this seems like junk. So here's how it works now. There is a new kind of place you go to. I should have probably checked this because I haven't been like running around the different areas in my game recently because it's a fishing tournament. So I've just been at the beach, just fishing every 3 hours, and then I don't really do any of the other things. I ignore them. But because I don't do that, I haven't been going to that island, you know, where you do the bug catching. So I don't know if Gulliver is still there. So I should have checked that before. But if you for a while now, they've had an icon for Gulliver on the map. So if you click on that icon, it'll show you 3 different islands that are available to travel to at a time. The good thing about this, and this is one of the biggest positives to it, and one of the things that I found the most annoying when doing this, but you can go to all 3 islands at once. You don't need to wait for him to go to one and then come back and then send him to another, you know? Instead, you can craft whatever you need, send him to one island, craft what you need for the second island, send him to that one. And so you just have a lot of opportunities to send him out, you know?
Yes.
Of course, each of these islands, I was going to say the negative thing, but I'm going to still go with it. Each of the islands has different prizes. For one, but once like the prizes are claimed, they're gone, and so you won't have to risk getting them again, you know? The issue is, though, some of these prizes are available multiple times. So, as an example, like you can get 3 silver treats as a prize, and you'll get that one 2 times from one map, or from one island. So... yeah, it's a little bit better. So as you like get through the islands, you'll know your chances of getting what you really want get better and better.
Okay.
Yeah. So of course the most important islands are the ones with the character maps.
Yes, that's right.
Yeah, and I told you I got all of the characters before, but with this update they did add 5 more characters.
Yes, that's right.
And I refuse to go for them until they fix this. And because we're going to go through some math. I went through and I listed out the costs to go to everything and what it takes to craft everything. And essentially the rewards that you can get based on those prices, which it's a ripoff, man. It's so bad. It's like Crazy Red designed this thing.
Oh, wow.
It's definitely, it should be Crazy Red's shop. It really should. Because Gulliver always hooked it up. Let's just say this.
Right?
I'm really sad that I'm mad at Gulliver right now because Gulliver, you know, he just washes up ashore. You get really great dialogue out of him every time, you know?
Yes.
And then he just gives you something. It's great.
Yeah, regardless of what you say, that's right, yeah.
Yeah, so Gulliver's a great character outside of Pocket Camp, but Pocket Camp, my goodness. What are you doing to this guy? He doesn't deserve this kind of stuff. It should definitely be Crazy Red. If it were, I would actually be into all of this.
Yes, right.
Yeah, I would just be like, all right, it's worth it. It's crazy. It's Crazy Red. Like that's just how it's got to work, you know?
Right.
Okay, so... the character map. I have not seen all of the character maps, so this is just based on like what I have seen through my own game, through my own experience, and kind of this is based around the odds that I saw based on what I already had. So this is a character map island. It has 4 character maps. 3 of those I'd already gotten, and then there's one more that says I have a 10% chance of getting it if I were to send Gulliver out, you know? The other, I guess, rewards are a leaf ticket map. There are 2 request tickets that you'll get at the same time. So if you pick that one, that's request tickets, you get 2 of them. Gold treats, you'll also get 2 of those. And that prize is available twice. So there's 2 chances to pull that one. Silver treats are 3, you get 3 silver treats, and that's also available twice. So when I say available twice, I mean there's a chance you can get it, and then you can get it again, and then you're done getting it. Like it's gone after that.
Okay.
And then like the other things, like once you've gotten the items and depleted how many are there, you're done. Like you've gotten everything. And there's a prize for completing every island, which is, it's not a good prize. I'll just tell you that. And then the last 2 are, there's bronze treats. You get 8 of those, and that's available twice as well. And then bells. I didn't write it down, but I do remember it was 30,000 bells.
Oh.
And yeah, I mean, it sounds pretty good until just wait a second. It's not good. So yeah, 30,000 bells. That one's also available twice. Okay. So you send them out, and there's, you can see the odds of you getting any one of these prizes. So I do like that. Like you know what you're getting yourself into. It's not good still, though. Because like I said, I only have a 10% chance of getting this character map that I want from this island. And then I never have to touch that island again. But it's a 90% fail rate for for that. So chances are I'm not going to get it on my first try. And maybe I'll get 30,000 bells, or even worse, treats. Or even worse than that, request tickets. And even worse than that, the leaf ticket maps. I don't know why they value the leaf ticket maps so highly, because, okay, the leaf ticket maps, to roll the die on like the base one, I forget if it's 10,000 bells or 15,000 bells.
Oh.
It's ridiculous. It might even be 30,000 bells per roll.
Oh, man.
Because I feel like the bunch of leaf tickets one, it might be, I think the regular is 30,000, and then the bunch of ones is 50,000 per roll.
Oh, wow.
They're expensive. Yeah, I don't touch them. I literally just collect the leaf ticket maps, and they sit there all day.
Yeah,
I did like one of them, and I was like, oh great, now I'm broke.
Yeah.
So, and then the worst part is, like, you do a bunch of bells maps, which I do have a ton of those, but each one gives you 50,000 bells, not leaf tickets. Oh my gosh. If it gave you 50,000 leaf tickets, I would do those every day. Right. But each one of those gives you 50,000 bells. So you have to do one map just to recover one die roll of the leaf ticket map.
That's right.
That's not cool. I'm not doing that. Okay. So now let me get into what it costs to actually go to these islands. So first, with this island specifically, it says the cost is 200 points. And the point system is kind of weird because it changes depending on the island. For example, there was one kind of lesser cost island that I visited that was 2,000 points, but it was lesser cost because the stuff you sent was worth more. So it's a really weird system. I don't like it. I just wish they gave us like a flat, here's what this is worth, here's how many points this needs, and I don't know, it changes and it's weird. So anyways, there are 3 crate options to get these points. Oh yeah, I totally forgot to write this down, but I also have to remind myself that I mentioned there's the character island, and then just like a real dinky island that has lesser prizes, for example.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
The real dinky island that has lesser prizes, that one lets you send different things than like the crates and the packages, which I haven't explained yet, but the character maps make you craft the crates and the packages to use as points. So you're forced into using those. Whereas the lesser islands, you can just give them like red snappers, different fish, different things that it can ask for.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Even crafting materials too. Which
nice.
We have a lot of those, so I don't mind that price at all because I really don't need them,
Right.
So there are alternatives to crafting these really expensive packages and really expensive crates for that lesser island. The other thing about the lesser island is that one still takes 6 hours, so that's just a regular Gulliver trip, the one that we're used to, The character map, I have not sent anything out because, like I said, I'm refusing to do so until they update because fans are mad. Everybody's been adding Nintendo on Twitter, Instagram, everywhere. They're on Nintendo about this update. We don't like it. So I'm assuming they're gonna update it again and change that, and hopefully they like give out some rewards back once they update too, just to make it up to us. Just give us some leaf tickets, 20 leaf tickets, whatever. It's not worth much. It's not even half a cookie, but that's fine. Give us that. So anyways, I don't know how long it takes for these maps, but I did do like a higher level one that took 12 hours. So, and then somebody told me the character maps were 18 hours. So I don't know if it's like 12 or 18 hours for these. Okay, so, and that's not even like all the time that goes into this. So, anyways, you have crate options and stuff to add points. The crates give you 60 points, unless it's a plain crate that gives you 20 points. And then you have 4 package options. The colorful packages add 20 points, and the plain one adds 10 points. And then there's a golden package that gives you 150 points toward that. And so you'd still have to craft some other things, but 150 toward it, it gets you really close. Okay, now let me get into the crafting prizes for these things. Or not the crafting prizes, the prices. How much it costs to craft these things. So the crates, they take 1 hour. They take 3 friend powders. That's chump change. Friend powder, we've got that for days in this game. Every gardening event gives you so much friend powder. It's hard to run out of this stuff. The things that are more valuable is that they take 1 sparkle stone and 20 essences. Unless it's a plain one, then it takes 10 essences. And then 20 wood. The wood is chump change. That's nothing.
Yeah.
So the friend powder and wood, that's fine. The essences and sparkle stones, those are a lot harder to get. And I am less inclined to use those because I have not completed making all the special items for each character. I have, I think, 27 left. So each one of those special items takes usually around 2 sparkle stones. So I know that I need about 52 sparkle stones to craft.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
And I think that's a minimum because sometimes the items take 3 sparkle stones to craft.
Oh.
So I need at least 52 of them. I think I have like 80 something. So I'm just like, no, I'm too close to what I need. I'm not going to spend any of these.
Yeah, right.
And then the packages, the regular smaller packages. So the crates are the biggest thing. The packages take 30 minutes, 1 friend powder, 1 sparkle stone, 10 essences, and 10 wood. And then the big one is the golden package. That one takes 12 hours to craft. And then it uses 10 friend powder, 3 happy home materials, and 3 sparkle stones, and 100 wood. So I took all of those numbers and I did the math to find out the cheapest way to get Gulliver to go to this island,
Right, gotcha.
So there's a 2-hour option. So that one's pretty quick and it costs 6 crates. You'll be spending 36,000 bells, 12 friend powders, 6 sparkle stones, 80 essences, and 120 wood.
Oh.
Yeah, the essences and sparkle stones, that's a big number for both of those. And then 36,000 bells. I just told you, there's a chance that you can just get bells, and that prize is 30,000 bells.
Right, gotcha.
So spend all of this, and then just get 30,000 bells back.
Right.
You didn't even recuperate anything.
Yeah.
Okay, the next option, this one's a little faster. It's 1 hour and 30 minutes. And you can do this with 2 crates and 4 packages. So this one is 36,000 bells, 10 friend powder, 6 sparkle stones, 80 essences, and 80 wood. Essentially, you just spend less friend powder and less wood for this method, and it goes 30 minutes faster to send them out.
Right. That's nice.
And this doesn't even count like the 12 to 18 hours that it takes for Gulliver to actually get back with something.
Yeah.
So there's that. And then there's the final option that it's the cheapest one, but it's also the longest one because it takes 12 hours to craft this. But if you spend 12 hours to craft that golden package, you'll be spending 38,000 bells, which is just 2,000 bells higher than the other 2. And then 13 friend powder, which is still higher on the friend powder, but like I said, friend powder is expendable. 3 happy home materials, which there hasn't been too much use for them thus far, unless you want to do like the what's it called? They've been redoing some items and letting you recraft some things.
Oh, that's right.
So yeah, usually you can do that with some HH materials. And then this one's 4 sparkle stones, which is 2 less than you would spend otherwise, which is pretty good. I would say.
Yes.
But the big one here is that it only takes 20 essences, so a quarter of the essences to make. And then 120 wood. So it's tied for most on wood. It's got the least essence expenditure. It's got the least sparkle stone expenditure. So that one's the cheapest for me because the precious items that you use to get it is a lot less. But like I said, it still takes 12 hours, and then add another 12 hours to the trip, 12 to 18. So you're looking at 24 to, I don't know, math hours, 24 to 36 hours.
Yeah. Oh, wow.
To get something. And then
yes.
You're probably just going to get 30,000 bells back. So yeah, I mean, basically, you're just getting ripped off for doing Gulliver's stuff. And we can't, I don't know, man. I just wish it were not so bad. I thought when they finally updated this thing, it would just be better. And it's amazing to me how bad they made it. It's so terrible.
Yeah, I mean, it sounds very confusing, and it sounds like, like you said, you're gonna spend a lot of bells, you're gonna spend sparkle stones and essences. You don't know what you're gonna get back. You want a character, but it's only 10% chance of success for that. So, I mean, at least the good positive that I can see is that they could fix it easily. They could reduce the time, they could reduce the bells, especially that it takes to do all this, or easy, just increase the chances of getting a character more than 10%, probably way more.
Yeah, the whole thing is definitely confusing. It's so convoluted, like
right.
all the different things you need to make, and then I don't know, they added like 50 different types of crates and packages, and you have to keep going back and forth and seeing like, which one am I crafting again? Oh, this one needs a blue crate. And then they even limit like how many of those crates you can send. Like you can only send one of the crates from each color. So I don't know. It's so confusing. I sat there just looking at it and I was like, and the worst part is it doesn't even tell you like how long it's going to take once you send Gulliver out. That's why I can't give you like a number on it. Because like I've clicked through every screen, I've clicked through the tutorial, and it just doesn't tell you. It just says craft these things and then you can send them off, and then it doesn't say how long it's going to take. It just goes,
Yeah, and I mean it's going to be a long time. It's definitely more than 6 hours like it used to. So why should it take so much time to craft everything else? I mean, just ideally, it should just be one thing taking so much time.
Yeah, I don't know. I think the 30 minutes is probably the max time I think it should take to craft one of these items because, I don't know, it's already so expensive. It's already there's so much that you already need to spend to make it happen. Why add the time on top of that?
Right.
Why make it take so long on top of the cost that it is? The last little, I guess, mechanic to this thing is that you can swap the maps that are there. If you do, oh my goodness, the cost for this, it's 300,000 bells, and it'll change what maps are appearing. And they warn you, they say, all 3 maps will change, but one of those maps may turn into one that's already visible to you.
Okay.
So they don't even make it so they're all new maps,
Right.
They just say you might get this one, you might not.
Right.
Yeah. So I don't know, man. I don't like it. I just don't like it. It feels like they want our money. And here's the money making scheme in this whole thing. After you've spent all of this time and effort to craft everything you need, send Gulliver out, and then he comes back. Finally, when he comes back, you can pick one thing for free. Only one. And then after that, it says, do you want to pick another prize for 12 leaf tickets? And then you're like, my dudes, that's messed up. That's real messed up. We're desperate right now.
Right.
It's probably one of the more worth it things to spend leaf tickets on, but it's sleazy.
Yes.
It's so sleazy,
Man.
I refuse to. I'm not doing it. I'm not even crafting anything to get to this thing. And that's why I also don't know the time. There is one screen that will tell you how long Gulliver will take. And that is when you have finally reached that point limit of the packages, and then you give them over to Gulliver, and then he'll say, "Oh, cool, do you want to send me off? It'll take this much time," you know? And so that's the only screen when you finally have crafted everything. It doesn't tell you any time before that. And I don't know. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, like, I mean, like you said, this would be so perfect for Red.
Yeah, I would be into it if it were Crazy Red. I cannot tell you. I would literally be like, all right, Red, I got you. You're here to rip us off. I get it. But do not do this to Gulliver. That's so messed up. Yeah, Crazy Red. Change it to Crazy Red, and I'm all in.
Yeah, that's all they gotta do.
Yeah, I'm all in on this feature. I don't care if I get my 30,000 bells. It's a really dumb reward, but you know what? It's better. It's better if it's red. That's it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't know, man. They made this game really confusing. Luckily, there's some autumn events going on. So there's a new cookie with autumn themed things, which
Yes.
I'm down. I'm gonna get some. The cookies lately have been pretty good. They're pretty exciting. They all have wings, of course, because they know the wings are the best. And when I say that, I don't mean like wings that you eat, but like wings that you wear on your back and they flap and everything. So I don't know. Some things are really still good. And like I said, I do like that the Gulliver thing lets you do multiple islands at a time. But I mean, between crafting for 12 hours, just one thing to send them to one island, and then waiting the rest of, I don't know, man. It just can't be done. Cannot be done.
No, right. And I'm with you. Definitely, I saw a lot of backlash on Twitter. And we've seen this before. We've seen a couple of issues with Pocket Camp, and people complain, sometimes rightfully so, usually. And we see a response from the developers, from Nintendo. They tweak things, and they issue usually leaf tickets like as a type of like a reward or a prize for sticking with it. So I think the same thing is going to happen. And even Nintendo themselves, they have said, we want your feedback. We want to learn what you like, what you don't like. And that's what people are doing. So I think it's fine.
Well, I'm sure they definitely learned what we don't like at this point. And that's another thing. Like, I feel they are listening to us whenever they do update this game. They've done a good job of responding to our complaints and everything. And so I'm pretty confident they're going to change it. And that's why I'm refusing to do any more.
Exactly.
I want to cut my losses, and hopefully, they still reward me in some way.
Right.
Because I don't know if they have a way to control how they give out prizes and stuff. So I'm assuming everybody who plays the game will be able to log in and get whatever leaf ticket prize they give in return for this. So I'm just like, I'm not going to spend any leaf tickets on this feature, because I have a feeling they're just going to give us some extra ones, make it cheaper, make it something that isn't so sleazy, essentially.
Yes. They could even give out free trips.
Oh, yeah, that would be great, too. I would love that.
Yeah.
Especially if there's a character map possible. Yeah. I got to get it. And yeah, I'm waiting for them to update it. I'm confident that they will. And in the meantime, I'm going to recommend that to everybody too. Like, don't spend your time or money or effort on this feature yet, because like they definitely designed it to make us kind of desperate by the time we get our package, our delivery from Gulliver.
Right.
Because you've already spent so much to get him there and back. And now they're just like, they're wagging it in front of your face. They're just saying, here, just give us 12 leaf tickets and we'll give you what you need.
Right. Question, because I know they have been adding characters, like you said. Those new characters, are they all locked behind Gulliver, basically?
Yes.
Oh, man.
No, I miss the old way they did characters, where they would just show up and you'd have to craft new items to get them,
Yes, right.
They haven't done that in ages now. Like, this whole year has been nothing like that. And
Mm.
the best part about it was that we just got new things to craft. I've already crafted every item in the game that is not the character special items or the gardening items, you know?
Right, right.
And then, like, you know, there are, of course, the premium items that you spend leaf tickets on. I've skipped those because I'm not going to spend that much to get everything.
Right.
But yeah, like, they don't give us just new free items to craft anymore. Technically they do, but it's only one from the character, and that's their special item, you know?
Yes.
But outside
right.
of that, there's nothing. So they're all locked behind Gulliver, and if they don't change it, I've just got to accept that I'm never going to get a new character again.
Man, yeah.
And I've got plenty. I'll just max out all of their levels.
yeah, there's still plenty for sure.
Yeah, so it's a bummer, man. I think they'll fix it, though, so yeah, that's all I got to say.
Yeah, and it's a little extra upsetting because I feel like Gulliver is gonna be a bigger part of New Horizons, and seeing him getting involved into this, probably most likely not by his own will, it's disappointing. So hopefully it gets fixed. The sooner the better.
Yes, and I love that the idea of having Gulliver in New Horizons is just perfect because he's always been like that sailor character who washes up ashore, and you're not really sure about him. Like, he doesn't seem like a real adventurer based on the stuff he says, but eventually, like, he pays off. In New Leaf, like, he gives you some special items from far away. So he must do some traveling. He drove a UFO in City Folk and Wild World. So he's got some adventure spirit in him. So
yeah.
And it seems like your island will be the perfect stop for him.
Yes. Yeah. Right.
So speaking of New Horizons, let's actually hop into that topic. And Sergio, you have seen my video where I talked about kind of like some features that were missing in New Horizons so far. And you have come up with 5 features, and I want to talk about them all.
Yes, and I picked one that you kind of picked, but I only wanted to do one sort of a repeat, but it's very important to me, that's why I picked it. But the other 4 are brand new.
Awesome. Yeah, I'm really excited.
So, of course, first and foremost, KK Slider, or if we have to include everyone else, the special characters, where are they besides Timmy, Tommy, and Tom Nook? Where is everyone else? Where is new special characters too? We are almost expecting a dodo bird at this point for the airport, or at least a new type of special character that's gonna be there. But for sure, where's Isabel? Where's KK Slider? Where are all the other special characters that we know and love and we must see in this game? I feel like there's a reason why they're keeping everyone sort of behind closed doors so far.
Yeah, what are you thinking for that? Like, why do you think they're hiding them?
I think it might have to do with the way the town is gonna maybe expand or maybe just develop. So depending on what you want to unlock at any certain time, whether it be predetermined, like you get the store first and then the museum, etc., or maybe you can pick and choose whatever you want to unlock first. But I think that's the reason why. I think every unlockable building is going to come with their special characters, and that's why they're not really showing either the shops or the characters.
Yeah, and I definitely agree with that, just based on like what we've seen so far has been so early game, and it seems like it's going to be a big reveal to show us like what is beyond starting this town,
Yes.
I think back to the E3 showcase when they did the treehouse and they went over the game pretty in depth, I think back to that, and I remember, I think it was Aya Kyogoku, who said that they really wanted the focus of this game to be starting an island, or starting your own town, because every game prior was like, you'd get in there, and there was already this established place,
Yes.
And I like that. Like, I really, this is what I wanted. This is one of my biggest wants from before. I think, what were my words? I want to start out in a dump
Yes.
and then turn and then turn it into something big. And they're definitely doing that. Like, I like that that's the focus, and I feel like when they finally do, because I'm 100% expecting this at this point, but when they do a dedicated Animal Crossing Direct, I am expecting them to go over everything. Like, not like everything, but just like all, like, what is beyond this beginning portion of the game, you know?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Which is a cool thing to do, because like the other reason I wanted to start in a dump was just because I wanted the life of Animal Crossing to expand. And by that I mean, like, I want to play it longer. And if I'm
Yes.
spending the first year just getting this place to go from ground zero to the town I first go into in the other games, you know,
Yes, yes.
that is a dream come true for me. Because I don't know, I played New Leaf about 2.5 years every day.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I was on that daily schedule, and then, you know, I did what everybody tends to do. I kind of dropped off slowly. Like, you miss a day or two here, you check in, and then it just gets further and further in between, you know?
Yes.
Of
Mm-hmm.
course, New Leaf had the Welcome Amiibo update, and that brought me back for like a solid 7-8 months of daily
Oh,
play.
nice.
And so,
Mm-hmm.
like, I feel like I got a good 3 years playing Animal Crossing New Leaf.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
this game,
Mm-hmm.
and now, like, you know, the game came out 2013. So you could say, like, up to 2016, maybe into 17 a little bit, I was full. Like, I was good. And then I was like, you know what? I need a new game now.
Yeah, yeah.
And, you know, it's been 2017, 18, now 19. So 3 years have passed of me truly wanting a new mainline Animal Crossing game, especially with the thought of it being HD. But yeah, I'm just glad that we're starting from nothing. And I guess we kind of went off topic now that I'm looking. But KK Slider, we do know that he's in it,
Yes,
which is a
yes.
positive. Like, I mean, you can't get rid of KK Slider. Come on.
No.
He's the face of the game, essentially.
Yeah, yeah.
um, so we do know he's in the game. We just don't know what they're doing, you know? Like, how long is it going to be before I guess they kind of confirmed that we're going to see him weekly from the beginning. So that's good on your end.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Cuz you get to enjoy some KK Slider tunes right at the start.
Yeah.
We
Yeah, yeah.
What were you going to say?
And also, yeah, the other special characters, there's so many of them, and they haven't really shown anything. You know what I was thinking? When they show this game to everyone, whether it be new players or especially to us that have been fans of the series for either at least New Leaf or before, I think if there is a feature that is coming back to the game, let's say creature diving, when you're out on the sea and you dive down and you get a creature, if that feature is in the game and it's not changing, I think they should just show it. They should just show it so that people know, okay, the feature is there, it hasn't changed, we're good. At least on that aspect. If something has changed or if there are new features, I think they can keep that for future, mostly for closer to release, when they want to keep basically the good stuff for, for last. But I think if something is in the game and it really hasn't changed, why not show it now?
Yeah, because I kind of pointed out, like, there's some tools missing, and like the slingshot, for example, there's no
Yes.
slingshot yet, which is, I feel like that's a pretty that's a staple of Animal Crossing now. But yeah, I keep saying it, but it's really weird to me that there is no diving or swimming yet, because that's what you do on an island. You go and swim.
Yes.
um, so I don't know, man. I think it would be good to show it too, like, because it's something like they can show as a quick thing, kind of like the pole vault in the first trailer,
Yes.
and digging up the tree. That was a new kind of mechanic as well. But they showed those back to back. It took like 1.5 seconds. Like it was literally that long. And then we all got it. We were like, oh man, that's cool. So they could do that just as easily with the swimming. And maybe they were avoiding of doing that because they hadn't quite shown the airport yet, or maybe there's something going on with the ocean that we don't know. Yeah, I've kind of tried looking at the map, but it doesn't look like there are little strips of land off of the main land that you have, you know?
Right.
So, I don't know. I can't tell thus far, but I could see there being something special with the ocean. I just don't know where yet.
Hopefully. Yeah, hopefully. And yes, so diving and swimming is one of the things that I want to see. And I hope it's a little bit faster this time too. It wasn't too bad, in New Leaf, but it was the first time that it was introduced. So I think if it was a little bit faster, I think it would be better.
Yeah, and this is funny because anytime somebody mentions that, I feel like I gritted my teeth while doing the swimming and the diving. I just felt like a tense human doing that. Like it didn't feel as relaxing as the other activities. It felt more like I was really tired of clicking A over and over to keep swimming and then keeping my eyes out for the jellyfish and dodging them. There were just so many things going on that I felt like I was just gritting my teeth while doing that activity. But I suffered through it. I caught everything, and I was glad when it was over. So,
but yes, Nintendo, this means we want it fixed in a way. We don't want it out. We definitely want this feature back.
Yeah, I need it for sure, just because I love that it brings us more stuff to collect, more stuff to do. And that's the most important part to me, just like more stuff to do, more stuff to collect. This is a game for collecting and doing stuff. So
yes,
yeah, and just make it a little bit less stressful on me.
yeah, definitely. So going back to, we said they do show a couple of new features. Like you said, the pole vault is new. Digging up a tree and planting it somewhere else, that's also new. One new thing that I'm surprised, honestly, they haven't shown at least one, is just a new villager. Not even a special character, like a regular new villager, a new cat, new dog, anything. Or even a brand new species. But they haven't shown, honestly, I don't know. I feel like they haven't shown enough villagers as it is, but definitely not even one new one. And I'm surprised about that.
Yeah, and it doesn't even need to be like a new species or anything. Like you were saying, like it can just be a new villager. And that would be really, honestly, really exciting for a lot of people, just because one of the fun things about playing each game is seeing a new villager doing and just, seeing the new designs and what they can come up with. There are a lot of options too. I know bats are popular as far as like new species go, but there's still species out there that I feel they can do. I remember somebody mentioned that they only added deer and hamster in the last game, but they said the team had a hard time coming up with another animal to add. And hopefully, I don't know, if they're really listening to us, I feel like a lot of us have posted a lot of really good ideas for new animals to add,
Yes, definitely. And there's always the ability for them to just embrace the species of the special characters and just go with that. I mean, that's completely fine.
Yeah, for sure. They can expand them and give us more tortoises. Because that's what I want.
Yeah. And based on a count that I saw, I'm not too sure if this includes the characters that would added via the RB cards eventually, or how many of them are returning from previous games. But basically, New Leaf added about 120 villagers from City Folk. So that's a good chunk, and I'm expecting New Horizons to do something close to that. Maybe not that much, maybe 80, maybe at least 60, but there's a point when we gotta see at least a couple of them, of the new villagers.
Yeah, for sure. Like, they've got to add some. And, there's even like returning villager options, because there are a bunch that we haven't seen since the first game. Even ones that never even came outside of Japan, essentially, because they were only added in Animal Crossing E+. So there are options out there. I'm surprised we haven't gotten to see any yet as well, because we've gotten a couple trailers now. We've gotten a lot of new footage, and yeah, that's part of the fun, I think, seeing new villagers, because everybody kind of comes in with their favorites, but then they added a bunch of new ones in New Leaf that became people's favorites after that. So
yes.
Yeah, I think it's worth showing. I think a lot of fans definitely want to see that for sure.
Yeah, and it would have been nice if they showed one or two without showing their names. Maybe you just see them like off in that very, very distant, and it's even like hard to tell who they are, what they are. So that would have been a cool way to introduce new villagers. Maybe they can still do that.
Yeah, that would be really cool.
Yeah, it would definitely put everyone trying to guess, no, it looks like this, or no, it looks like a brand new character or a brand new species, maybe even. So, something else that I want clarification on. I want to know if the ordinances are going to be back. Or, since you're most likely not the mayor anymore, how is there an alternative to that? Can you determine the shops, the times that are open? Are they going to be 24 hours like we discussed in a previous episode? I want to know the details of that. How are you able to keep your town in a beautiful town state? Are you able to? Is there an ordinance, or is there something else? This seems like it's something that we would either find out closer to release or until we actually have the game in our hands. But it's something I'm very curious about.
Yeah, that's very true. Like, we got a lot of different powers through the mayor role, essentially.
Mm-hmm.
And right now, it doesn't seem like there's any way to get that. And I mean, maybe in the future we can build a town hall. We do know Isabelle is going to be in this game. We just don't know what she's going to be doing or what her role is going to be. But I don't know. She should be mayor. I feel like she should. She did a great job as assistant. She worked tirelessly all the time. But yeah, I don't know. I think those were very cool mechanics. Like, at the beginning of the game, I ran nothing but Rich Town for mine, and it paid off. Like, I got to pay off a bunch of things and always had bells around so I could buy every single piece of furniture every day. So
nice.
Yeah, it was a good thing for me. And then now I have the beautiful town because I don't play every day and I can't log in and water every single flower in my town because there are just way too many at this point. Yeah, so I am hoping that we also get to add more than one at a time. But right now we don't even know if that's an option at all.
Yeah, and ideally we would want more ordinances or more features like this. Going from 4 to maybe 8, at least 8. That would be great. That rhymes. But so far it's going from 4 to maybe none if the feature is gone, which is it's concerning. We don't want to start listing things that are gone from this game. We want everything to come back, hopefully, and then new features added in. That's I feel like that's the way to go with a series like this.
Yeah, for sure. Just build on top of it. And they always do a good job of that too. So I don't doubt it, but we haven't seen it yet, so we kind of just don't know at this point.
Right. Right. And one more thing, the last thing I have listed here as something I want to see that we haven't. While I do love the pole vault, and I think it's a cool new feature, the more I see it, the more I like it. But I do want to see bridges in your island, especially because I'm thinking if there are bridges, we're going to be able to craft them ourselves. And that means, New Leaf had different materials. I'm guessing it's going to be the same here since we can craft them ourselves. We get to choose the material. So I'm guessing there's going to be even more color varieties this time around, assuming the bridges are back.
Yeah, and I do think these are going to come back too. Somebody pointed out the wording of it. They just said it's a quick way to get across the river. So it kind of sounded like there are going to be multiple ways to get across the river, and bridges will probably make a return. But you just don't have the crafting recipes, like you said. So I would assume that we'd get a bunch of different bridge designs. I would love to get a bunch of new ones. Every week I go to a dream town, and then sometimes I notice what bridges that they do different bridges than I do, and I'm just like, oh, now I want to switch all my bridges to that one. So
right.
So yeah, there's a lot of really cool bridge designs already, and I want to see even more. There's still plenty of designs that they can still come out with, you know?
Yes, and we based on some of the crafting materials that we have seen already, there's softwood, hardwood. At least that tells you that you could have a wooden bridge, but it could be a different color. And every material could have different colors or maybe even different finishes. So the variety could be even bigger this time around.
Yeah, for sure. And I would love to get one of those cool rivers that does like a weird circle loop and there's an island in the middle and you have to build 2 bridges across it.
Oh, yes.
That we haven't gotten since population growing, and that would be a really cute and cool, I guess, different feature for your town. So people could be surprised.
Yeah, I mean, you could put a house there, your house, someone very, very special, or like a statue if we're able to do that. That'd be nice.
Yeah, it would be superb, and I want it now. Yeah, so anyways, that's a lot of good stuff, Sergio. I think you've gotten a good list of things that we still need to learn more about, and I don't feel like any of these are out of... I guess I feel like all of these can happen still.
Yes, right.
So I don't feel like they're going to be features that we're going to be missing. I just feel like Nintendo has really focused in on the very beginning of this game. And I think that's good because we've seen kind of a game beyond this. We've seen a town that's already built. We've seen a lot of homes that have already gotten to the biggest size that they could get, you know? And so yes. I think this is the cool big new thing to focus on. So I think they're doing it right.
Yes.
Yeah. But we're impatient and we want it to be next year already.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, because how far are we from this game? Like 180 something days?
Yes.
Yeah.
We're getting there, but one day at a time, it's a little rough.
Yeah, it's going to be really nice when we reach like under 100.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm very excited for that day. Anyways, let's go ahead and move on to our Haken's Islander Corner. Every week we ask our patrons on Patreon a question and we read through some of their answers. This week's question was, if you could have only one food on a deserted island, what would it be? Sergio, what would you want to have as food on an island?
Honestly, I'm gonna go with cheese.
Oh.
Yes, I think to me, cheese is the coffee of foods, if that makes sense. Everything is better with cheese. So even if it's just cheese by itself, I need cheese. So if that's the only thing I can have, that's fine. That's what I want.
I think that's a good option. Yeah, I think that one works. I don't know. And I feel like, sure, the island is deserted, but clearly we're going into a deserted island here. But there's still some resources, you know? You can still make things work and maybe make a fishing rod and get some fish later. So I think some things are going to be available on this island later. For me, I think I'd probably choose potatoes, really, because they can be made in so many different ways. And yeah, overall, I feel like they're just like a good option to have, and it would really elevate everything that you already have on the island and make it more of a meal, you know?
Yeah, and I mean, honestly, it could even be a weapon.
That's true. Potatoes are hard when they're not cooked. And when they are, they're hot. So, hot potatoes.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, both are deadly. All right, so let's go through these answers. I guess we'll just go back and forth, and I guess I can start with Dragon Flame. And Dragon said, I could probably viably live off mangoes. I won't lie. That's a good option too, and I'm sure they'll grow really well on an island for sure.
Oh yeah, yes, definitely, and there should be plenty.
Tons of them.
So Lyalatron says peanut butter. Super tasty and nutritious.
Nutritious. Because it's peanuts. Yep.
Nice. You know, it's lucky people that can have peanut butter so much. I can only sort of accept it like once a year, which is crazy to me, but...
Yeah, Dragon loves peanut butter. Or no, Lyalatron loves peanut butter. I feel like Dragon said he loves peanut butter at some point, though.
I think so, yes.
Yeah, so it's popular.
Nice.
Emily said, sushi. I could literally eat it every day. And that's probably one that's going to be easier to get your hands on, too, just because there's like fish around and everything. So if you ever run out of sushi, you could probably make more.
Yeah, and I think that's another one that could really be, it opens up to a lot of variety.
Yeah, definitely.
So Andrew Orto says, I would love to have potatoes. You can eat potatoes so many different ways, and they're very nutritious. Just nutritious.
Yeah, that's true. So we agree on the potatoes here.
Yeah.
Yep. So Grizzly Nina said, I mean, call me a cliche, but wouldn't it be good to have coconuts? Then you're getting food and a hydrating liquid. Yeah, that's true. But I do also feel like coconuts are already just going to be there. So maybe you could pick something additionally. But still, if they're not there, I think coconuts are a good choice regardless, just because you do need to be hydrated. You know?
Yes, and it's another good weapon. I don't know why I'm so weapony today, but it is.
Yeah, that one, coconuts actually really do kill people just from falling off of trees. So that one's a dangerous one for sure.
Yeah. So Isabel Odegbami says, I don't know how weird this is, but I would definitely want to have unlimited cheese and cucumber sandwiches. I'll be happy anywhere with that. Oh, nice.
I love cucumbers. So cucumbers would be probably my second choice. I don't know how long I could live off of those versus potatoes, but I'd make it last.
Nice. And kudos for the cheese.
Yeah, for sure. Mal, plain and simple, pizza.
Yes.
It's a good answer. You know, it's got all the food groups. It's a vegetable. It's got cheese, just like Sergio wants, and it's got bread. So you can live off that for a while.
Yes, it's got everything. And again, a lot of variety on that one.
Yeah, you can get all sorts of toppings. I'm sure they just deliver it at that point.
Yeah. Nice. And our last answer for this week is by Alex or Coconut. And he says, coconuts. Wait.
Yeah, so Alex going with the coconuts. Once again, like Nina, very good for hydration, very good for food. So, excellent option.
Yeah, and it's, I mean, for him, it just makes perfect sense.
Oh yeah, definitely. He is coconut. All right, everybody. Well, thank you so much for tuning in to this episode of Haken, an Animal Crossing podcast. Don't want this episode to end? Well, you can keep the conversation going by Nintendo switching over to our Discord. Just follow the link in the description, and you can talk with other people who love Animal Crossing as much as you do, including Sergio and me. Want to support the show in a bigger way and get your voice heard during the show? Visit patreon.com/ChewyPlaysNintendo. You can support our show with just $1, have an episode dedicated to you, get special access to a secret room on Discord, join in on the Haken Islander Corner, and even read a monthly newsletter covering all things Haken and Chewy Plays. We really appreciate the support and put your money toward great things on the show. Tuned in on YouTube? The comments are a great place to let us know your answers to the Haken Islander Corner. What is one of the foods you want on the deserted island? Also, let us know what you think of the Pocket Camp update. If you dig what you hear, please KK slide over to that review section on your platform of choice. Let people know what they're missing out on. Haken is a wild production brought to you by Chewy, Sergio, and all of our patrons. We thank you for listening, and we hope you have a great week.
Goodbye, everybody.